starting. This bud is for all the Colts fans in Baltimore, Maryland. Just kidding. No, I know they're in town. I know. I'm just kidding. Johnny Unitas is not quarterback. I know that.
Johnny U.
All right, so Brian's coming online. The counterpoint.
I protest. This is a protest show.
Brian, turn down your TV or whatever that you got going there.
The Phantom of the Sportsbook is back.
That's right. The Sportsbook of the Opera has the Sportsbook of the Opera has returned. Sportsbook of the Opera. So this is where you get the best NFL pick every week on your big pick. Whoops. On your one pick wonders. Coming into playoffs. Obviously, we want to make a run in the playoffs. How many picks are
somebody made a terrible pick.
Undefeated in the playoffs? Is that
well, that's too late for that.
So we need what to go 4-0?
Well, we missed last week, so we're going to go 3-1.
Oh, that's right. That was already the playoffs, wasn't it? Okay, so we're trying to go 3-1 at this point. The pick is from the pick master this week, the 5 head of knowledge, Danny D. The Colts at Kansas. Colts shutting down the Texans last week. Andrew Luck over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 INT. Chiefs, AFC. So the Chiefs had a bye last week?
Yes.
I see. So record of 12-4. Mahomes over 5,000 yards, 50 TDs, 12 season. Indy 7-0 against the spread in their last 7. So Chiefs played well during the regular season of a top seed. However, they had lots of close calls down the stretch. 4 of their last 6 games by no more than 3 points or an outright loss. Plus, as good as Mahomes has been, this is also his first career playoff start. So we're going to see a situation we saw last week with the veteran Andrew Luck taking these first-timers. So 5 head of knowledge, are we going to let the Sportsbook of the Opera go first because he complains otherwise?
Well, he's going to complain either way. But I will cede my time to the Sportsbook of the Opera. He can go first, so we don't have to hear us crying anymore. All right, Curly, you can go.
Well, I just want to say that this is in protest. My brother Scott skipped over me, which is bullshit. He gave up his turn. So I'm going to be a contrarian because it's bullshit. So I'm going to say go Chiefs. I'm going to say that the pick is shitty. The Chiefs are at home. They had a week rest. The Colts are coming off they're not rested. Pat Mahomes is the number 1 passer this year, going against the Colts defense that is only average. The Chiefs have a really good pass rush, led by Dee Ford and Justin Houston. So I think even though the Colts have a good offensive line, they're going to be able to get pressure. I just think that it's a shitty pick, and that's all. And I'm playing my contrarian role, and I'm protesting this. My brother gave up his pick, and I didn't even know you could do that. I think that's a legal move, and I'm going to protest to Roger Goodell. I'm sending a letter to the commissioner.
It's Mike Shanahan.
I'm sending a letter, and I'm protesting this, that I was skipped over, and that my brother illegally gave up his pick.
He's the producer.
I don't care. It's illegal. It's a legal move.
Okay. Well, anyway, now that that's over with, I picked the Colts this week because, as Scott mentioned, most of the Kansas City's games down the stretch were 3 points or less. It's a 5-point spread. The weather is awful in Kansas City. It's going to be snowy and cold, and the Colts have been running the ball great. Melvin Mack, I think, was second or third in the league in rushing the last 7 weeks of the season. The Colts have won 10 out of their last 11 games. As Scott mentioned, all of the quarterbacks making their playoff debut all lost last week. All 3 of them lost. Andrew Luck was second in the league in touchdown passes behind Mahomes. Kansas City can't stop the run at all. Their run defense is terrible. They haven't won a home playoff game since 1994.
Dan's favorite stat. That is Dan's favorite stat.
Yeah, they're also 2-7 all time at home in the playoffs. Joe Montana won their last playoff game. Brian was probably a 49ers fan back then, but crying for the Chiefs.
Nice. That was nice.
Andy Reid's 0-3 at home in the playoffs with the Chiefs. He's only 11-13 in the playoffs and 1-4 with the Chiefs. To me, everything points to the Colts. 60% of the bets were on the Colts going into this game, according to SBR Forum. The weather, the quarterback matchup, and the trends going into this game all point towards the Colt victory. I think the Colts are going to pull it out. The offensive line's been fantastic this year, and I think the Kansas City defense is finally going to bite them in the ass, whereas the Colt defense has been playing great for the past 2 months. But Brian doesn't watch football after the Eagles are over. He watches post-game show and then cartoons. So he missed a lot of football.
I know that the Colts defense is only average. They're in the middle of the pack. Their total defense, points per game, they're only in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, but that's when the first half they started 1-5. Look at the rest of the season; they won 10 of 11. So
numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie, Dano.
Yes, they do. So anyway, that's just the reason behind my pick, and I believe in the Colts this week. I think they're the better team coming in here. I don't trust Andy Reid. I don't trust the quarterback, and I think the weather is going to be a factor. It's going to hurt the Chiefs. Spencer Ware is out. They only have Williams, and I don't know who the hell the other running back is. So, go Colts.
Wasn't Brian? Brian was going to start a GoFundMe to buy Andy Reid a limo out of town.
Yeah, he was going to pick him up and take him to the airport by on his own and kick him out of the limo with his foot. Oh, he hated him. Now he hates Jim Schwartz. Guess what? Your boy Billy Davis is back in the league with the Cardinals.
Really? Nice. My man. That's fun.
So, Uncle Ryan, what's your take?
I picked last week, which was terrible. I think Dan's making a good pick. If you want to say the numbers don't lie, the Colts are the 7th rated offense, and the Chiefs are the 31st rated defense. 31st against the pass, that favors Andrew Luck. 27th against the rush. The Colts defense, they're not average. They're above average. If they were average, they'd be rated somewhere 15 or 16. Against an offense, it's number 1 overall, 3rd in pass, 16th in rushing. However, 16th in rushing, that's probably released by. So the Colts are on a streak. I think they've only lost one of their last 11 or 12. Andrew Luck's a veteran. The weather doesn't look it. The field looks favorable conditions. They're expecting professional players know how to play in weather conditions. You've got Adam Vinatieri as the kicker for the Colts. Guy played in New England, right? I don't know. What game was that, Dan? Against was it
The
Oakland?
Raiders. That was a Tuck game.
The Tuck game, yeah. So Vinatieri can kick in the weather. What do we know about Harrison Butker in the weather? I don't know. I don't know enough about him. So field conditions for kicking favors the Colts. Is it going to be a low scoring game? Probably not. It's probably going to be somewhere in the mid to upper 20s for each team. But you're giving the Colts 5 points. 5 points. Giving them 5 points. If they win, they don't even have to win. They can lose by 1. They can lose by a field goal. They still cover. It's a good pick. They're on a roll. Are they going to make the Super Bowl? They could make. They win this game. Who knows? I think New England. You look at the other matchup, the Chargers and the Patriots. I think the Chargers are a better team than the Patriots. So that's just going to be whether or not they can come across the country 2 times, and in 2 weeks and win there. So you look at the Colts. They get past this game this week. They could be the Super Bowl. You need that run, like the Giants had those runs those 2 years that they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Get hot at the right time, not at the right time. So I like the pick, Dan. Much better than the pick I made last week.
Well, hopefully so.
Yeah.
I have a question for the producer. So, if Dan loses, does it go back to you, Scott, or does it go to me? That your stupid bullshit thing. What's going on here?
No, he's taking my pick. So if he loses, then I lose my pick. So it goes to you next week.
So it goes to me. All right.
If he wins, then I keep my pick. I keep my pick if he wins.
I have a question for the fan of the sports book here.
No, it's the sports book of the opera.
Yeah, how's Mr. Yingling and Mr. Kors doing?
Oh, did you see? Goose Island had that kick today. That kicking. If you could kick a 43-yard field goal, you get her 43 yards.
Hey, I kicked one at the draft. I kicked a 35-yarder.
I
really did.
You would have been 8 yards short then.
I kicked a 35-yarder with boots on, Dan.
And the wind was going in the right direction, and there was a string on the ball to help it pull through.
No, man, it was a beautiful kick, man, right down the middle.
I do want to say, what are we calling the spread? I think we're at a 4.5 to 5 right now. Are we not?
Yeah, I think it was 5 last time I checked.
Yeah.
All right. So for the purpose of the show, now I see it at 4.5 now. We're going to call 4.5 in Ryan's favor.
Yeah, it just changed 4.5.
So showtime it's 4.5. So that's the cover. So we just need a fee. If I do the math correctly. I also want to say that we were talking the records against the spread 9-7, and Kansas is at 9-6. Home, so this Kansas at home is 7-1. Indy away, that's not helping us there too much. The money's really heavily. The expert money's going on Kansas. No, I'm sorry. The expert money is going on Indy right now. 65% on Indy with the expert money at a 4.5 under. So that's your expert analysis. We're at currently at 31 degrees with an open stadium. I know Dan thought it was a dome, but it's not. I'm gonna say
they were supposed to build it with a dome back in the day. There's supposed to be a dome between that and the Royal Stadium. It's supposed to go to both of them because they're built right next to each other, but they ran out of money and didn't build it.
How's the book coming, guys? How's the stadium book coming?
We're going to Kutztown Stadium next.
Oh man.
So, game time is approaching. There's going to be it's a snowy day there. Eh? I see Collinsworth and Al Michaels are all suited up in their ski. Let's get. We got to get a live look before we end the show. We got to get a live look, and no, oh shit! Now the cord's hooked. The cord's tangled up. All right, so this is your live looking right now, and it is a car commercial. There you go. That's your live looking.
So wait. So Ron, are you making a bet? You can bet now, right?
No, not online. Let's go to a casino.
Yeah, and you owe me $1 million.
I didn't get there yet.
Where's my money, Brian? You owe me $1 million.
For what?
You said that the Eagles had a 3rd-round pick, and you bet me $1 million, and they don't. So you owe me $1 million.
Oh, are you still on that, man?
Yeah.
Come on, is it Shylock? You'll never forget.
Yeah, I'm gonna call Joey Papers. Come to get the money from you.
Get it from your grandfather's trust fund. Hey Scott, you know that Scott, you know Dan's family once owned a original Picasso? True story. True story. He's embarrassed, but it's true.
It wasn't worth that much. It was only worth $15,000.
No, you said 30. You changed your story. When we were in the conference room, you said 30.
No, it's never worth 30. It was only a $15,000 painting. It wasn't like $1 million Picasso.
So what did you get? Like a third of that, Dan? What did you get? 5,000?
No, zero.
You just got the trust fund.
Yeah, right. I wait to wait for that check. Then they come in the mail. Well, let's congratulate you for wearing a shirt this week.
So, all right, go.
Go Colts.
Go Chiefs.
Go Colts.
I told you I was protesting this.
All right. Boo, Brian.
Boo.